Just takes it a minute this way.
Uh-huh.
All right, we are live. Yay, I'm excited. I'm delighted to have Stacey Johnson here with me today. You all are in for a really incredible treat. Stacey Johnson is a dedicated and passionate clinical therapist and women empowerment coach who is trained in mindfulness and emotional freedom technique tapping, or EFT. Stacey specializes in helping high achieving women break free from the cycle of overthinking, burnout, and stress. With a deep understanding of the unique challenges faced by ambitious women, she empowers her clients to reclaim their presence, enhance their well being, and thrive both personally and professionally. Drawing from her extensive experience as a therapist, coach, and her personal development, Stacey provides practical strategies and compassionate guidance to help women overcome headaches, sleep deprivation, and lack of concentration. Stacey's holistic approach focuses on fostering self-love, building emotional resilience, and cultivating a growth mindset, enabling her clients to make confident decisions and improve emotional and physical connection with their spouses. Through her transformative coaching program, live trainings, and insightful content, Stacey has inspired countless women to prioritize self-care, set healthy boundaries, and overcome the whirlwind of thoughts and change their mindset and stop doubting themselves. Stacey is committed to creating a supportive community where women can connect, grow, and celebrate their successes together. Welcome, Stacey. I'm so very excited that you're here.
Thank you, Dawn. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, yeah. Can you share with us what inspired you to become a women empowerment coach and start your coaching program?
Yes. So I've been a clinical therapist for like 25 years in the state of Ohio, and I've always been in a school setting. And about 3 years ago, I started working in to for some extra money for the family with telehealth and more private practice. And so every woman that was coming to me was high achieving, stressed, burnout, overwhelmed, overthinking. And I thought to myself, why not open this up beyond the borders of Ohio and help as many women as I can? So because coaching, I can, go more virtual and I can help more women than just in Ohio, like my license requires me to do. So I thought, why not do this? Because if there's this many women in Ohio that are seeking me, there's got to be a lot more all over the world that want to break free from overthinking and burnout and stress. So that's kind of
Uh,
why I started that.
that's exciting. Very, very cool. Um, can you explain how you help high achieving anxious women overcome overthinking and stop the whirlwind of thoughts?
Yes. This was where, and I actually was, one of these women as well. About 15 years ago, I was overthinking a lot. I couldn't make a decision to save my life. Someone would ask me, "What do you want for dinner?" And I'd be like, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever you want. And I was always stressed because of work. It was a very stressful position. I would bring it home. And so I overthought decisions that I made at work, and then I wouldn't connect with my family. And so I started looking at all of my trainings that I had been to as a therapist to renew my license and all of my professional development courses. And I started looking at everything and I'm like, yeah, you're overthinking yourself. And so I started using techniques that were from cognitive behavioral therapy, and I put them together in my anti-anxiety blueprint. And so when I help women with that, I use techniques from cognitive behavioral therapy, But we do a lot of things in regards to challenging the thoughts, like asking ourselves, is there any proof to this thought? If it does happen, how will it affect me 6 months from now, a month from now? We also talk a lot about things that we can control and things we can't control, because so many times our thoughts are a lot to do with things that we can't control. So learning to separate the two and focusing only on the ones that we can control really helps my clients. And then there's a lot of negative self-talk that goes along with the overthinking. And so learning to challenge our own negative self-talk and changing them to be more positive or more rational to ourselves helps them stop the overthinking.
So fascinating. You said you talked about a specific modality. Can you tell us a little bit more about, or just a brief summary of what that strategy is?
Yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy is definitely, it's a therapeutic technique, but I use it with my coaching clients as well. And that is in, and it's all about challenging, looking at our thoughts, challenging them, and looking at how we can change them and consistency over time. I know we talked about that when you and I had chatted earlier. It's change, so when we have to change our thoughts, we look at over time as well, because and learning, and I also use a technique called ditching the dread, which is like learning that we stop the worry, we challenge it, we take those deep breaths, and then think of something that brings us joy and really work it hard, not going back to that worry. And then I also I tell my clients we incorporate a technique also called like a worry dump or a thought dump, is just getting them all down on paper during the day, identifying a specific time of the day and amount of time that you're going to allow yourself. So giving your brain permission to think during a specific time of the day. And then once it's down on paper, then you tell your brain, nope, stop. You're not going to do it again. I will do it during my thought dump time. And once your brain starts to get into, again, that habit of knowing you're going to be allowed to think during those times, then it starts to kind of cooperate with you a little bit more. We a lot of times think that we're not in charge of our thoughts, but we are, and we can be more in control of when we're going to do that overthinking instead of allowing it to get in our day.
That's so fascinating. Are these the kind of strategies that you use to help women develop the strategies they need for self-care?
Yes, that. And I also look at, I will have my clients do a self-care assessment to kind of see where their self-care is lacking. And then we try to incorporate techniques during the day to help improve those areas. So if it's about boundaries or if it's just about our physical health, we look at ways that we can incorporate it. But I also tell my clients that it's 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day of taking care of you, because self-care does not need to be these long, manicures or massages. Yeah, those are great to have. Sure. You know, if your budget allows it and a time allows it, those are some great long-term self-care techniques. But incorporating things within the in your day that takes 5 minutes and even just a couple minutes. We're so used to, especially, I know I did, that I thought if I worked through my lunch break, maybe I could leave a little earlier, but that never happened. And now that so many people are working from home, it seems like home and office are entangled, and we're not separating that, and we're not maybe taking that lunch break that we have, or even stay at home moms that are, with their kids, all day long, they feel like they can't take, just a couple minutes for themselves. So I'm always saying, take that break, take that couple minutes to do either some deep breathing, some gentle stretches, go outside and enjoy nature, taking in the sunshine, the sounds of the birds, anything to kind of like just reset yourself. And again, resting for a moment and is part of self-care. So taking those moments during the day is very important. So I talk a lot about how to incorporate at least 5 minutes of the day and saying, what do you enjoy? Like, what brings you a joy? What brings a smile to your face? And try to incorporate that.
Oh, I love that. That's so, so incredibly powerful. You share that you're trained in mindfulness and EFT. How do you use these techniques to help women develop their self-care plan?
Yeah. So just like that, 5 minutes and taking a moment to go outside, hear the birds, feel the sunshine. Those are mindfulness moments. Those are kind of taking yourself and getting yourself grounded in the moment. And getting grounded in the moment allows you again to realize like what is happening in that moment. Because again, our thoughts, the overthinking thoughts that we tend to have are things that are you're thinking about in the future or in the past. They're not necessarily about that moment. You're typically not thinking about that moment. And that moment is the things that you need to worry about at that moment, and so getting grounded and using mindfulness. So mindfulness incorporates, this is why I think you and I, we are so similar in some of our thought patterns, is because again, just taking that deep breath, feeling your own breath, and getting grounded, getting reset allows us to like look at what is happening right now. And so I incorporate mindfulness throughout my program. I provide them a couple mindfulness meditations and look at like how can we use an EFT is incorporated into that as well, because it can get us, set for the moment. It's a, once you learn EFT, it is something that you can do on your own, not necessarily have to have an instructor tell you how to do it, or you don't have to go to a class. And so it can be put into your day.
That's incredible. So, is there anything you'd like to share? Are there any at this point?
I think we've covered a lot of it, but I
Okay.
do, um, yeah, I think we've covered a lot of what I talk about, you know,
Okay.
so
Fantastic. So exciting. I love how our work really intertwines. And I'd love to have you share with my community how women can reach you.
yes, they can find me at my website, which is staceyjohnsoncoaching.com. And I'm on all the social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, at Stacey Johnson Coaching.
Fantastic. And I'll drop all of those links into the comments later on today. So please feel free to reach out to Stacey. Thank you so, so much for
Thank
being here
you.
today. I feel better as well being with you. So I hope everybody agrees. Thank you again all so much. And we'll see you again here very soon. Be well.
Thank you.